Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. I have a very special guest with me today. She's a nail artist and nail educator. She has her own YouTube channel called Nail Coup. Please welcome Anastasia Milton. Hello, Anastasia. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much.
You are most welcome. So I want to go ahead and get started by asking, where are you from and how did you get started in the nail industry?
I'm from Moscow, Russia, and the reason was very simple and not romantic. Unfortunately, I just wanted to make money.
Mm.
So after my first year of college, I just went to the nail school in the summer, and it was like 5-day education. That's what you need to get in Russia. And I just started working on the weekends and in the evenings first because I was in the college.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now I want to get into in terms of how did you develop like your artistry? Like who were like your mentors that really, really showed you the way in terms of just nail art, the nail artistry, especially with the techniques and things like that?
Well, I have so many people that I get inspired. Back then, I think one of the most big impact was by Tom Holcomb and Tom Bachik, because I don't know, their work and like everything just inspired me so much. And I even had a chance to learn from Tom Holcomb a few times.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, what has been your own experience like, having your own nail salon and nail studio?
Well, I never really owned a actual nail salon. So I had a nail supply for 11 years. And that was quite an experience. And then I had the nail school for about the same time, like a physical school. And I realized that, doing business and being an artist is just two little different things. You need to spend some time like doing both. And
Right.
this is how I realized that I like sharing, like I like teaching people more than selling products. So that's why I have a focus on that.
Wow, really, really cool. Now, what made you get started having like your own YouTube channel?
I think, I don't remember if Instagram was there. Well, some of the social media was just getting started, like Facebook.
Right.
They realized that I get questions that are so repetitive, like what is your favorite acrylic brush, or how do I avoid product lifting? And they were so repetitive that I just saved them in my Word document and was just copy pasting them as people ask them again. Then I thought maybe I would just record an answer and it will be like a catalog of Q&A and I can send the links to them. So this was like the first idea of creating that, and later it just became something more creative and fun as I got more following.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I see some of your content, like your content is really, really great. I love like the nails that you do. And especially I like the education aspect of what you do as well, like spreading that information. So I want to ask, like, in your perspective, what is your whole take in terms of nail education and how it could be improved possibly?
Well, if we're speaking about the education in the US, like right now, getting your license and going to beauty school to get the license and working in a real salon, I think there are like two completely different things, right? Because what state boards are expecting you is so far from what people actually want today on their nails. So this is what I would love to be improved, like for state boards to stop being so conservative and, just use some more innovation so that after completing beauty school, at least, future nail technicians will have some skills to work in the real life. And now they have to like, take a separate training or learn on their own instead.
Yeah, I definitely believe like here in the US, like, it could be improved a bit more, because they always, they only focus on the hours you need to pass rather than getting you fully equipped for the industry. So I want to go ahead and ask and shift gears and ask this question, like, what is the whole difference between nail education here versus in Russia?
Well, the biggest difference is that in Russia, you do not need to have license. Well, like you have to have some kind of legal paper so you like can legally work in general, but just to become a nail technician, you don't really need anything. So technically you can be self-taught on YouTube. And then if you're good, you can get hired to the salon. So that's the first difference. And the second one, I don't know, maybe the competition is really strong, but it's like, it's really hard to get in a good salon or get in clientele. That's why, it actually feels like nail technicians are fighting for clients. While here, from what I see, and especially the beauty shows, it seems a little opposite, like no dogs, no show appointments. You're in the blacklist like forever.
Yeah, that's very interesting because, I didn't know that about Russia. I thought, you had to have a license or something like that. But, the whole thing with, Russia or like in Europe, like you guys are like ahead of the game, like, with these different nail shapes, different products like, plasticine gel, that's what I found like interesting about that, especially here in the US too. Like, we're getting more innovative in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's very, very interesting with that. Now, what is your whole perspective in terms of with pricing, in terms of like nail services or with just, doing nail courses? Because you also offer your own nail courses. So if you can also talk about that as well, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Well, in terms of pricing, I noticed, I think for some unknown reason, like our industry is so like underpriced. Because
Mm,
if you just take a look of how much like lash makers charge,
mm,
that's so different, even though the self cost of the service is very similar. It's actually even lower. You have to buy less supplies than nail
right.
technicians do. But I still see some ridiculous offers like full set for $20, for $30. Like what? So I think that even
Yeah.
if you're just getting started, you still need to invest a little more maybe in your classes and education and products and start from average or above average price, because if
Right.
you start from a very low one, it's almost impossible, to get all the way up. And also it's like undervaluing your skill and yourself too.
Right, right. Because you have to consider, like, you're paying money for high quality products and you're putting in hours with the work. So, that should be at least like, 60, if not 100 something dollars for a set of like gel or acrylic enhancements.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So that I think that's something that I think a lot of us as nail artists are like trying to figure out, especially, even if it's just press on nails, like, some people, I've seen some people charge like 15 to 20 bucks, but it's like, if you spend hours on it, charge way higher, like in the hundreds, if not 200 something dollars for a set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that definitely should be changed, because well, maybe salons and nail techs themselves are a little guilty of it, because once we offer these low prices,
Mm,
everyone starts copying. But yeah, that's not good. I mean, because I think this work actually costs more, because we're sitting, after 5 or 10 years working as a nail tech, you start experiencing problems like with your back, with your neck. So
right.
that definitely should cost more.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because consider you got to pay for insurance, you have to pay for like a lot of important stuff, especially if you have your own salon or your own studio, or even if you have like a mobile or home salon, you still have to pay for, some, with your products and, maintenance and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's something that's very important. But I definitely want to get into your nail courses. So what are like some nail courses that you offer, possibly?
Mm-hmm. So we offer online courses, well, almost everything. So we have pedicure, manicure, nail extensions, nail art. And
Mm,
what makes them different is that you always have a live teacher support. So
mm-hmm,
it's not just some pre-recorded like videos that you watch one by one, but there's also feedback. So you have to fulfill assignments.
mm-hmm,
Let's say it's acrylic course, so you need to sculpt like a nail on a tip first,
mm-hmm,
take pictures from different angles. We also give them like instructions how to do that.
mm-hmm,
Upload the picture in the system, then it will be checked by an educator. If something is wrong, then you need to fix it, re-upload it. And if it's all good, it's accepted. So once you fulfill all assignments and do the graduate work, you will get a certificate. So we
mm-hmm.
do not give them if you just pay for the course, only if you complete it. That's why I think it has some value in it.
Right, exactly. But I definitely want to get into e-filing. So what are some of the things that one should understand when it comes down to e-filing?
Well, I think eFile is a great tool that's making like nail technicians' life so much easier, but it's also important to use it right, because it can be also a weapon if it's used incorrectly. So
Hmm.
I think it's important just to take a course, to take some training, because it will be just easier. Because if you learn on your own, you will definitely damage some nails, maybe not just your own. So it's better to skip these problems and just to take a training. But you definitely should use it, because I cannot even imagine working today without it. There's not that much you can do.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because if you use like a regular file, you're just gonna take forever just trying to file the nail down.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, I've seen some nail artists, they file under the nails, especially when it comes down to an enhancer. So why is that? Like, why do you file under the nails?
You mean when doing fills?
Yeah, like fill-ins or like, after like sculpting, like I see people file under the nails.
Mhm.
You file.
Well, it depends. Sometimes I do that too. Sometimes I don't. It depends on on the goal. But some people, like most people, once their natural nails grow longer, they start to fold in the corners, and
Mhm.
they will lift from the product. So in that case, that's actually wise to do that. This is just how you avoid product lifting. So technically, it's like trimming your nails, but from the other side with a file. I know
Mhm.
some people are very like, oh my God, why are you destroying the nail? And I'm like, well, it's actually, I'm technically trimming it. You do not really destroy it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's totally understandable. But I definitely want to also get into like booking clients because I see, nail artists, they use like, if you want to book or schedule an appointment, DM me and things like that. So what are some things, some suggestions you would give in terms of how to book clients?
Mhm. Oh, well, today, especially after pandemic, well, and before it, one of the best tools is social media. This is
Mm,
like one of the most, how I got most of my clients. And
mm,
I don't, well, today is not that relevant, but I also use a personal website. Like back
mm,
then it was, such a wow, like, wow, a personal website of the nail technician,
mm.
with articles and stuff. And also, well, word of mouth, it's going to work as long as you do your job well.
Yeah,
All that. And also there's like so many tools today, like, and so if you have at least like one client, or I don't know, you're doing nails for some of your relatives, just ask them to do reviews like on Yelp, on Google, because in
right.
that case, the reviews work very well as well. Maybe you have a
Mm,
Facebook page. There's also like a special section for reviews.
mhm.
That's what I recommend to do first.
Yeah, yeah. And there's also apps too, like Style Seat, you got Booksy, those
Mhm.
are like booking, client type of apps. So you can use those too.
Oh, there's a section for feedback too on the Booksy.
Yeah, yeah, there's a section for
Oh, okay.
feedback. So after, like, cause if I get like, I get my haircut. So like after a haircut, they'll say, hey, leave a review, after your appointment or something like that, if you want to. So that's like an optional thing. Or, if you, that's like kind of going to a restaurant, like, you go to a restaurant and they may give you a survey, like, how did we do? Like, what could be better and stuff like that. So yeah,
Right. Mhm.
yeah, because, reviews do definitely help improve your work. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, most definitely. Now, how did you get into nail competitions?
Well, I was doing sports before I got into nails, figure skating. So I
Mm,
was very competitive already, I guess, just by myself. So it was kind of a natural thing for me once I figured out there is such thing as nail competition. I'm like, I'm going to
mm,
compete there. But later I realized it's also like a great, it's not just about competition, it's more about how you prepare for it.
mm,
Some kind of a mix of excitement, adrenaline, training to work faster and training
right.
to do better in a certain time frame. So,
Mm,
and overall, it gave me so many opportunities. Like I started to work faster.
right.
Usually I use, like romantic movies when I was working with my clients, and they are on average like 1 hour, 40 minutes, 2 hours.
Right.
And after the competitions, they never get a chance to watch it until the end because I was doing it within just 1 hour. So we
Wow.
had to separate them into two parts.
Wow, that's very interesting. Now, what were some of like your favorite like categories that you've done with the nail competitions?
Well, I think every nail technician has its specialty. So some
Mm,
nail techs are just nail arts, some other nail sculpting. So I definitely more like nail sculpting section because
mhm,
everything is, and also, like math more than like
mhm,
other studies. So it's just like there's shape, there's certain length, and you need to fulfill it. Because in nail art, it's more like abstract. But I competed in all of them because I just
mhm,
wanted to try it all. But yeah, I like nail sculpting and also like invent your own shape. There's some
mhm.
kind of section now.
Yeah,
Things
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very, very cool. Now, do you also offer courses in terms of like competition preparation?
well, yeah, that's also another big part of what I do. I do, yeah, like personal training for the competition. However, I haven't done it online yet. I
Mhm,
mean, I did some like we do in person, and then if a person lives far, then we can continue. I can continue like giving consultations, but I never did that from scratch online. So maybe That's something
Mm.
you may try in the future.
Yeah, because like with nail competitions now, it's like, especially like for example, like with Nail Olympia, they recently offered Nail Olympia online in due to
Mhm.
the pandemic. That's why they offered it. So like ever since like around like 2020, they started doing Nail Olympia online. But they also, they're getting back into doing it on a physical arena. So what is the whole difference between an online competition versus like actually doing the nail competition on the competition arena?
Well, online, yeah, is great because if you live far or if you live in a small city where there's not much going on, like you can try. And also, well, online does not include this part of excitement and adrenaline because you're just
Mm-hmm.
technically sitting at home and you have all the time you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know it's stopping many people from competing. So maybe you can try online first because it's much easier and not as scary.
Mm-hmm.
But then I mean, if you like it, I think you definitely should go for actual like in-person physical competition too, because it's like a
Right.
whole different world. Like you're sitting in a table you've never seen before. You just sit around the people walking. I think it's also some kind of psychological competition. And after that, you will never have any troubles with the most picky client because you already have this psychological training.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting because I competed like on, Nail Olympia online, but I also did
Oh.
Nails Next Time Nail Artist Season 8, and that was like an online competition. And the nail sets that you do, it takes so many hours to to do like a whole like set of nails. And in this nail competition, Nails Next Time Nail Artist hosted by Nails Magazine. And I found like the whole experience to be rewarding because it really pushes you to step outside your comfort zone than what you normally do.
So you did the NTNA one?
Yeah. It was season
Oh.
8. It was hosted by, like I said, Nails Magazine. But what advice would you give for someone who wants to get into like nail competitions, whether it's online or on the competition floor?
Well, just go for it. Don't overthink too much because I have so many examples of people who are like overthinking it for years. Like,
Mhm.
oh my God, that's not like well, I mean, you just do it because even
Right.
some people are also so focused on like, oh my God, what if I will be like the last one? Or
Mhm.
what if I don't win? I'm like, well, probably you won't if it's just your first competition, and that's okay. The goal should be just to improve your work. Yeah, like you just
Right.
said, go out of your comfort zone, and that will be already enough. Just set a goal
Mhm.
like this for yourself. And I mean, maybe if you like it, and then you will compete more. So yeah, just don't overthink it too much. Just try it.
Yeah, right. Most definitely.
You want.
Now, I want to get into nail products. So, what are things that people should look for before buying nail products?
Well, I would do a little research on the company itself, like see if they
Mhm.
have a website, if they have this MSDA shit. Um,
Mhm.
and there's also so many like forums and reviews about maybe reviews on YouTube, and you can see how the product works before buying it. So I think
Mhm.
today it's so easy to get this research before buying it. That's what I would do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what are some like your favorite like nail products to use? Because I know you mentioned in your YouTube channel the brand Civilland. That's one of like your favorite products. Is there any other favorite products or brush you like to use doing like nail enhancements?
Oh, I like many brands like Entity, Young Nails. There's a brand Tones I
Mm,
recently tried. It's also good model ones. Yeah, there are actually so many brands, and some of them have like a certain things that I like. Some of them have more. So yeah, today like we have like 10 years, 15 years ago, it was really hard to find something good. And today we have such a huge variety from different price ranges.
mhm. Yeah, exactly. Now, what's the difference between like soft gel and hard gel?
Well, I would recommend to use soft gel for overlays, for natural
Mhm.
nail overlay, and hard gel for extensions.
Mhm.
So that's, I would say, the main reasons. Well, technically you can still use hard gel for overlays too, but I think that's what I always recommend to do, like soft gel for natural nails, hard gel for anything long, creative
Mhm.
extension.
Because I think like hard gel is like, you file it down, and then, soft gel is like a soak off.
Oh, right. Yeah. The removal process. Yeah. It's also different.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Now, in terms of nail prep, like how important is nail prep? Because as of recently, I took a while ago, I took a nail course that talked about nail prep, and it helped me a lot. So, how important is nail prep to maintain a nail enhancement?
Well, I think it's actually one of the most important parts, definitely, because even if you create a beautiful shape, amazing nail art, like if you fit the forms well, but the nail prep is bad, the nail is still not going to last. So it's kind of like a foundation of the house. Who
Mm,
wants a beautiful house with fancy interior when it's not going to stay there? So
mm,
recently I tried this. Actually, it was my first time. I tried, press-ons. They're
mm.
almost like drugstore press-ons, but I did a manicure and prep and cure really well. And you don't even use glue. You use this like adhesive
Right,
paper. Yeah, but they stayed for a few days
right.
on my client because I did the prep very well. So
Mhm.
even some kind of home use products are going to stay as long as you do the prep well. So yeah, I think it should be paid attention to.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I could definitely agree with that. Now, what's your whole take in terms of the nail industry and how it's growing with technology and your perspective?
Well, as expected, it's like more things are going online. And now what I see in beauty shows, they're less crowded. Well, maybe it's because of pandemic or like the cost of gas and tickets. I don't know, but I definitely see less people now. But I see
Mhm.
more people online taking online classes, participating
Mhm.
in live streams, and that's good because, well, I mean, you have an opportunity to learn from home. Um, so I think it's going to grow, and there probably will be more classes and meetings and
Mhm.
things online. And I mean, with technology and maybe like there are nail printers now. So
Right. Yeah.
honestly, I thought 5 or 6 years ago, I was almost sure that by this time we will have some kind of, robots that will be building the sculpting nails. Well, kind of like a nail printer, but nail sculpting, but there's still nothing like that. So
Right. Right.
the robots are not taking over yet.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm glad you mentioned that because I've seen that too, where people have like the nail printers, like the nail machine where it can polish your nails and stuff like that. So it's getting more into like into a digital and technology type of
So, well,
age.
I think that might be cool actually in some ways, to do all the hard work. Yeah, like product application or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually I like technology. So I think they're still going to help us. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a good thing. And like you mentioned, yeah, like books, still like online booking,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Right.
services. So yeah, I think that's actually helping us.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, especially social media. Like social media really helps with with our promoting our work and stuff like that. Social media definitely helps putting our work out there and and it really helps build a clientele like how you said before. So that's really, really cool about that.
mhm.
Yeah. So I want to also talk about the economy. So prices have went up in terms of gas prices and, especially, services went up, and things like that within the economy. So what's your take in the economy and how it's affecting the nail industry?
Well, what I see is that people are starting like to read more reviews, not buying as much as they used to, because yeah, clearly remember that a few years ago, it
Mm,
felt like they were, just buying everything they see at the
right.
show. No, it's not like that, but still, I think people spend a lot. And also they pay attention more to affordable brands. There are so many now on Amazon or on
Right.
AliExpress. So I think that's what's changing. But overall, people are still doing nails. People still want to be beautiful. So yeah, I don't think, well, I mean, there's still services needed. So
Right.
even when like economies like that, I think it's not the reason to lower your prices.
Mm,
Instead, you maybe need to like invest in your education, maybe to work faster, to work better, maybe to learn something new. But still,
mhm.
like I said, not undervalue yourself because of that. Because, like you mentioned, prices are going up. Everything is going
Right.
up. So why your prices should go down? No, that's not
Yeah,
how it should
yeah.
work.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just crazy how like, there's stuff like that's going on. And we're living like in critical times like right now. So, like how you said, price is going up, like your services should be going up, in price,
Mhm.
you know, that,
Exactly.
that's very, very important. Now, how do you balance being a nail artist and just everyday life? Like, how do you find that balance?
Well, it is hard, but I'm maybe like I was workaholic, and maybe I still am in some ways for a long time. But then I just started, so I have this like planner right here. So I start just adding like go to the beach, or have fun,
Right.
or relax, or like watch your like favorite show in the evening. So I started adding this into my calendar. Before that, there was just only work, and I thought everything that's in between will be my time off, but there was no time off, just maybe for sleeping. So I just started adding this time to relax, and it's
Right.
working. Actually, I got more productive. So yeah, you should definitely just plan your vacations, your days off. Yeah, because if you work like 24/7, at some point
Mhm.
there will be burnout and no creativity or new ideas or energy will come out of it.
Yeah, yeah, I most definitely agree with that. Like plan your days out. And that's something I need to do, like, like plan my days out, like what times and stuff like that. Yeah, but definitely planning, that does definitely help. Now, how would you define success in your personal perspective?
Success.
Hmm.
Well, I think, well, yeah, it's like actually, I spoke with my friend recently about it. Like the definition of success, I think is that whatever, if you enjoy what you're doing,
Hmm.
that should be like success to me, because I know that nowadays it's like we see, okay, like this person is rich. Well, now they're probably successful. But I think, yeah, like you mentioned, it's about the balance. So
Hmm.
if you really enjoy what you do, if you're not like, you have few things you're focused on, let's say your family, your work, your hobbies, and you like have time, like you balance it in between, that like is a success to me, because I would rather be happy and not calm, like with a piece of myself, rather
Right.
than I will be making like 5 times more, but I will be miserable and with, I know, like sick and not even have time to enjoy it.
Mm. Yeah, right, exactly. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media, and how can people support you and what you do?
Well, just subscribe to my social media and be active, because yeah, I think that's the great support actually, because sometimes I just receive some messages and letters like, oh, Anastasia, like your videos motivated me to start doing this, or when I was going through hard times, I was watching your videos, they kind of helped me to distract myself, and wow, that, oh, I'm even saying this, I have goosebumps, I think. So when I read something like this, I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay, so I'm doing it right, because it does motivate some people. Yeah, that's like the greatest reward for me.
Mm. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Well, thank you so much, Anastasia, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely great. Your content is very, very great as well. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Take care.
And goodbye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.